Hey guys, it's Lord here, back in with another action figure review. Today, our reviews of the Mythic Legion's Rising Suns wave roll on with a figure I haven't seen anyone review yet. Although I haven't checked every single review from this wave, but I'm not going to say I'm first, but I'm going to say I'm one of the first. Because today we're going to be taking a look at Broddr of Bjorngar. Brought to us by the fine folks over at Horsemen Studios. Of course, he is a member of the House of the Noble Bear. And for lack of a better term, is a more historically accurate Viking character in the line. We've gotten plenty of Viking characters in this line before, both male and female, but this one I feel is the most historically accurate. But I will also say, out of all of the figures and or characters in this wave, this guy is probably one of the least exciting because he is just a dude. At the end of the day, he's not an elf, he's not a dwarf, he's not a scorpion, he's not a ghost demon, he's not a dark elf, a skeleton, a bear, a yak. He's just a dude. So maybe that's why there's not a lot of reviews of this guy up. But before I get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Broddr has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with a pair of fisticuffs. Punch you right in the kisser. Also have a pair of grip hands with the wrong hinges for holding weapons. Also have a pair of more open slash grasping slash style posing hands. And then speaking of another Viking character, we get this head so you can turn him into a completely different Viking-esque character with the wings on the helmet. We have plenty of characters with this though, so I'm probably just going to leave that off. We also get horns for that helmet, which if you know Vikings, you know that they don't have horns on their helmets. At least not historically accurate ones. We get this axe, which is a very Viking-style axe, battle axe. We get this big shield, the middle that pops out. So you can swap that out for something else if you want. I will say the handle's pretty tight in there, so be mindful of that. And these shield adapters are a little bit on the gummy side, I think. Probably so the peg doesn't snap, but I would still be careful with that. It's very tight, and you don't want to break your stuff. Last but not least, we get the spear with a removable end there. You can also break it apart here. This is the same spear we saw with Scapula, except it has a different topper. So, makes it more like... I want to say Vorgus Vermilius V2 came with this. Same exact setup, but don't quote me on that. Now taking a closer look at Broddr. Has this nice white soft goods piece. I don't know why it reminds me of Kraven from Marvel, but it does. And how you put this on, you take these little nubbins off his shoulder pads, and you just loop the loops around those, and you're good to go. He's got a couple belts on his torso. He's got some accoutrements on his waist. He's got this little, it looks like a braid. I don't know what this thing is, but I put it there. And then he also has this little doodad over here. I'm not sure what these are called. I know they're like specific Viking ornamentations or whatever, but I couldn't tell you what those are called. That said, he's got a little pouch on the back here, which I almost thought was a sheath for something. But as far as his articulation goes, his head can look side to side. He can look up. He can look down. He's got the hinge in the neck, like a lot of the newer Legions figures. His shoulder pads can go out. You can pop the arms up. I think he's got the new upper arms, the new bear upper arms. we're starting to see in this line. He can rotate back and forth. He's got a single jointed elbow with rotation. He's got the var graps, which we do not see very often, so it's nice to see those again. He does have swivel hinge wrists with the appropriate hinge for holding weapons. He does have a ball joint in the waist, which does not stay on mine very well. Now, this could be because of the soft goods. This could be because of something else. I'm not sure. But just moving it a little bit, it does have a tendency to pop the heck off. So hopefully I don't need to fix that. But yeah, as far as snapping in, it doesn't really do that. But I could probably hit that with a hairdryer and pinch that closed and it'll be fine. It doesn't feel like it's a all this stuff is pushing up on it situation. It feels like it's more of a the socket's just too open and I need to fix that. So that'll take not a lot of time at all. His hips can kick out, back down, forward and back. He's got a thigh cut. He's got a single jointed knee with a swivel below the knee. He's got a boot swivel with ball hinge ankles that can rotate, hinge, and pivot, and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So he's fine. He's just a dude. So he's probably the least exciting thing in this whole wave. But for being just a dude, you know, an average figure like this is still better than a lot of toy companies' best figures. Hasbro, I'm looking at you. Specifically Marvel Legends. Either way, I like it. I'm glad I have it. And that is that. I would kit him out with his gear, but I don't want him to take up too much room for the inevitable size comparison. So with that being said, that's how you segue. Why don't we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Broddr of Bjorngar, our historically accurate Viking character, alongside a couple other characters from the House of the Noble Bear that came out in this Rising Suns wave. We have Atlas the Conqueror version 2, who we've already looked at on the channel, along with Broddr the Bear. Check that review out if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it if you did, but also stay tuned for our review of Neve, who is off to the left there, which will be coming out in the next few days. Not right away, but soon, I assure you. But as you can see, these guys are roughly the same height. I feel like Neve's a little taller for some reason, but I'm okay with that because she's not human. Atlas and Broddr, on the other hand, they're about the same, but since they're both human dudes, that makes sense. So, getting these two out of here. This friggin' Atlas is like one of the best figures of the year so far. Him and the Scapular version 2. But bringing in our two regulars, we have Brother Mandibilith, who I can't help but feel also needs an upgrade, even though he's awesome the way he is. I might order a second, is it Urzok, the orc general dude with the war paint? See if I can spruce him up a bit or more. But until then, we also have the infamous Elephant Spawn, who is about neck and neck with good old Broddr if we go to the tippy top of his somewhat pointy helmet. So with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and if you're looking for a more historically accurate Viking action figure to add not only to your Mythic Legions collection, but collection in general, then good old Broddr of Bjorngar here has you covered, because, as we all know, historically accurate Vikings don't have horns on their helmets. And while this guy does come with an alternate head that you can put horns on, this head that he's got right here is how I will be displaying mine. It's different. It's the only time we've ever gotten this head. It is probably the only time we're going to get this head, at least for a while. And not for nothing, I like the historical accuracy. Believe it or not, it's something different for once. We're used to getting Vikings with horns, antlers, wings, you name it, on their helmets. This is the first time we've got one with just a helmet, with nothing going on. Not for nothing, but sometimes it's good to keep it simple, stupid. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.